All right, just to start, can we get a little bit of background of yourselves and also the organizations that you're a part of? Rory, would you like to go first and then Peter?
Sure thing. Yeah, good morning, everybody. My name's Rory Herron. I'm a Business Development Director at Invest Northern Ireland, based here in the Bay Area. Invest Northern Ireland is the economic development agency for the region. We have two teams here in North America. One is the foreign direct investment team. We help US companies expand operations into Northern Ireland. We've got 285 US companies employing 115,000 people currently in Northern Ireland. We also have a trade team here in the US, in-market advisors who help Northern Ireland companies with their sales and exports into the US.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Peter Leroe Munoz. I serve as SVP of Tech and Innovation Policy, as well as General Counsel for the Bay Area Council. We are a business and policy association. We represent nearly 400 member companies, research institutions on matters of policy at all levels of government, specifically designed to work on supporting our various ecosystems that make this region so special. And by ecosystems, I mean our innovation ecosystem, our business ecosystem, and our respective community ecosystems as well.
So let's take this conversation and go to the future and then work backwards. Where do you think, what subsectors or sectors are you really bullish about in the next 5 years, say between now and 2030, between Silicon Valley and Ireland?
Yeah, sure. I'll give a quick answer for both directions of travel, if that's okay, Shawn. So for Bay Area to Belfast, I think we have to look at where some of the significant investments have come from already. And I would say, first of all, our Northern Ireland cybersecurity sector is very mature. Fantastic Bay Area companies like Proofpoint, Anomaly, Contrast Security, Imperva, they've invested significantly in Belfast. And our cybersecurity sector is very mature. We've proved ourselves very, very capable, able to provide the talent that these companies need. But it's actually gone a step further now, where we've become a world-class research location as well. So a lot of the research that's been done in Queen's University Belfast, their Centre for Secure Information Technologies, this is the foundation of a lot of the conversations we're having now with prospective investors. A recent $25 million investment in that center in their new cyber AI hub. The collaboration opportunities for our foreign direct investors is immense. NVIDIA is a great example of a Bay Area company who are collaborating with Queen's University around cloud and data center security. So I think, cybersecurity, I know there's many other fantastic subsectors that we could talk about later in the day, but if I want the audience to go away thinking about one, then I would say cyber. Traveling in the other direction, I have to give a shout out to Cloudsmith. I know that there's the co-founder is here in the room. Last week, hey, how are you? Raised the largest ever funding round by a Northern Ireland company, 72 million Series C. That says a lot about our, it's a great signal for Northern Ireland's enterprise software sector, our capabilities, our global ambition, and our ability to grow globally competitive companies.
Rory, I'm really glad you began talking with the cybersecurity aspect of things. That is an issue that continues to grow in terms of importance. We've seen this in the news the last couple of weeks already with regard to the Mythos model and the concerns around security that have really kind of flown from that issue. We are also considering, with regard to the rise of quantum technologies and what a post-quantum cryptography world is going to look like and what that means for security. So certainly cybersecurity remains and will continue to be a very important area of focus for us. I think getting to AI and some of the attendant infrastructure needs there What we have seen in terms of areas for growth and need is certainly around the resourcing that we see for that infrastructure. The bottlenecks that we are seeing with regard to this technology really has less to do with the compute side of things and more to do with kind of the basic issues around energy resourcing around that. And this is becoming not only a technical concern, but it's also very much a political concern. And I see a couple of political leaders in the room, like Betty right here, with whom we have worked in the Bay Area Council for many years, and a respected leader throughout the state. And it is an issue that we have to recognize that the politics very much impinges on innovation. We have to be thoughtful that as we consider how do we continue to grow and support our innovation economy while at the same time being thoughtful around the energy resourcing needs, around what this technology may mean for rates of smaller consumers. All of these things come into play and ultimately produce regulations and rules that have significant impacts on the innovation. So to the extent that there are opportunities for looking at data centers and the efficiency, certainly that is something that I think a lot of folks in our region are very concerned about. And we know as well, the data centers that we see in California are overwhelmingly different from those that we see in larger states, or excuse me, in different states where they are using kind of the larger kind of hyperscale facilities to train the models. What we are seeing in California, the smaller edge compute type facilities that you'll see in San Jose, Santa Clara, et cetera. So our needs in this region are very different, and our efficiency needs are also very different. A lot of opportunity for the great work that folks are doing on the other side of the ocean.
So we talked about the future, the subsectors, lot of interest there, but for companies here looking to set up operations and go to Northern Ireland, what are some of the incentives that they may not be aware of that are being offered?
Well, we offer comprehensive, tailored support to each individual investor. So this takes the form of, introduction, soft landing support. We arrange discovery visits for companies to come and check out Belfast, come and check out Derry, come and spend a day or two with us ahead of making their decision. We can introduce Northern Ireland. Northern Ireland's a hyper-connected, small place, 1.9 million people. Everyone literally knows everyone. So we can introduce these executives to just about anybody, university departments, talent agencies, corporate finance firms, whoever it is they need to speak to inform their decision. I think what surprises them is the level that we can support with training, bespoke pre-employment training. So the Department for the Economy in Northern Ireland has what's called Assured Skills Academies. These have been used by Citi, Microsoft, Rapid7. These are bespoke pre-employment technical skills academies designed in partnership with the investor. And we fund them, and all we ask is that the investor interview the candidates, and roughly 85% of these candidates end up getting the jobs. So it means that we can address really acutely the skill sets needed by our investors, and I haven't seen too many other economic development agencies offering something like that.
And going the opposite direction, I mean, there's so many resources here in Silicon Valley. How can the local government, how can Bay Area Council, how could they help kind of filter the noise and help the companies from Ireland be more efficient when they come here to the Silicon Valley?
Yeah, Silicon Valley is hyper-localized. I mean, you have different regions focusing on different things, even within our relatively small geographic footprint. I mean, you can look at parts of San Francisco. You look at South of Market versus Hayes Valley versus other parts of the downtown. And there are different areas of focus for each of those particular regions. And so I think having a guide, if you will, someone who can kind of help you make sense of where are the respective areas of focus for different communities and how to get plugged into the culture. I think that is something that's extremely important. This is something historically the Bay Area Council has done very well. We are able to help kind of be that bridge and recognize kind of the power players and those that need to be connected with folks who may be trying to establish presence here. And this is something that we have done very well. We just had a delegation of folks from Africa last week. We have delegations come in all the time that we host to set them up with local leaders, business leaders, also with, again, like those political leaders as well, recognizing that the technology and the innovation ecosystem does not exist on an island, but rather has to interact with and should interact with the policy world. And so addressing some of those concerns that intersect business and policy as well. So I think being able to plug in with a local group like us, I think is something that we can help accelerate that process of becoming enmeshed in that community pretty quickly.
You'd mentioned cultural there. Question for Rory and Peter both. Where are the gaps maybe that you see from a cultural understanding or from companies coming here or companies going there, from the entrepreneurs? Where's the gap? Or what might they not know?
Yeah, I spoke to the hyper-localized nature of things. And again, this is important because the geographic density of this region is one of the factors that contributes to the success of the innovation. You have those opportunities to interact with, to get to know other folks in respective areas. And you have those fortuitous coincidences, those meetings where you're talking to somebody in a bar about a project and you need an engineer and somebody knows somebody who can hook you up with another person. So many of those kind of moments of serendipity are really important. And if you're working on something and you happen to set up in the wrong neighborhood or the wrong city, you might miss out on those opportunities. So I think, one, recognizing the hyper-localized nature of things, but I would say, two, the presence. The physical presence of being in this area, committing to this area. It's not enough that your leadership may remain in another country and visit time to time. The presence has to be here in a sustained way, in a visible way. And so I think the importance of showing up and signaling that you are showing up in a real way is important. I would also say one other thing about the culture is this is not the place to come and explore necessarily. This is the kind of place you come to scale. And so this is, if I flatter myself in our region, this is kind of like one of the prime areas, obviously, for innovation in the world. So you really want to be ready for prime time when you decide to make the commitment to show up here and avail yourself of all of the opportunities here.
I think just from personal experience, Shawn, I'm working with established companies who are growing their footprint in Northern Ireland. Something I hear from the C-suite subsequently is that the engineers in Belfast, they don't like to play second fiddle to another engineering team within the company, so whether it be in the US or another location. The cultural difference is that the engineers in Belfast might not be so vocal about it as perhaps some of their friends and colleagues in the US. And so kind of linking into what Peter says, it's very important to get the right site lead when they set up and expand into Northern Ireland. Some companies choose to bring an executive over from the US for 6 months to 12 months, and that helps to kind of bridge that what might become a communication gap. But yeah, just to reiterate that the engineers in Belfast they want to be involved with the most complicated, exciting, ambitious projects that the company has going, and they just might not be so vocal about it at the beginning.
And your organizations, when should a company start the conversation with you? Is this something where they have to be a late-stage established company, or is this something where early on, when they're just going out for their early rounds of funding or setting up operations, should they start talking to your organization? When can you come in and help?
I mean, Invest NI, generally speaking, we're helping establish companies who are, at least at Series A, Series B, they're at that stage where they're looking to grow their international footprint. But I am open to conversations at any stage of a company's journey, even if I can't directly help you with my 9-to-5 work. We're so connected to people on the ground in Northern Ireland. we're helping people set up, sustainable long-term teams, but we also have contacts at talent agencies who may have companies on their books who are looking for that one rock star engineer or that one great developer. So I welcome all conversations. So, whether it's over a coffee later or on LinkedIn, just get in touch.
Yeah, you really can't start early enough. And we work with companies of all sizes, some of the largest around the world, all the way down to very promising startups, which are hyper local. So helping them to grow and kind of set the trajectory of their development, again, certainly something you cannot start early enough.
Fantastic. Let's give a round of applause for Rory and Peter.